The end of the Serf War, time for the elites to fight. The current mobilization model in Ukraine increasingly resembles medieval feudalism, where the full burden of war falls on the most vulnerable layers of society. While a limited circle retains access to profits, government cash flows, and offshore accounts, the lower classes are treated as the primary resource for the front. This serf war is not merely unjust, it is leading the state toward a catastrophic socio-political defeat. The crisis of justice and hierarchical dictatorship. When mobilization mutates into street snatches by territorial recruitment centers, TRCs, physical abuse, and the stripping of rights from the partially fit, the state transforms into a hierarchical dictatorship. In this system, citizens' rights are constricted in violation of the Constitution, and the duty to defend becomes a punishment for poverty. This undermines the very idea of Ukraine as an egalitarian state worth fighting for. The trap of the aggressor's attraction. This internal injustice creates a dangerous precedent, Russia's model, where mobilization is purchased with massive cash payments, begins to look socially attractive to a despairing citizen. When the aggressor appears as a generous employer and one's own state acts as a punitive apparatus seizing the last remaining resources, the ideological front begins to crumble. Without internal justice, we lose the competition for the loyalty of our own people. An army of grandfathers versus an army of professionals. We are currently witnessing a paradox. An army with an average age of 40+ defends a rear filled with young, healthy security personnel. Thousands of police officers, prosecutors, and bureaucrats possessed of weapons skills and management experience remain an untouchable caste. A massive army of military retirees, who left service at age 40 with high pensions, is precisely the resource that must replace exhausted peasants and workers in the trenches. The double lie of propaganda. Official propaganda, attempting to portray forced mobilization as an act of universal joy, is particularly repulsive. This chasm between the reality in the trench and the reports on television only deepens the rift between the panis, the elites who propagate, and the serfs, the commoners who die. Conclusion: time for the war of elites. To save the state, we must immediately change the war's subject. The elites must go to battle. Active and former security personnel, police, prosecutors, and special services must be at the front, not in the rear. Bureaucrats and managers, those who govern the state, must personally feel the cost of their decisions. TRC reform, replacing fighting-age men with women and civilian specialists in rear structures, will release combat resources. A nation's true resilience is born where the elite leads from the front, rather than pushing the weakest from behind. Only by transforming this serf war into a war of free people defending their shared property and future can we stand against the aggressor.